I don't get that.
Online.
Alright, it says we're live.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Excelente.
Then
We have just a few moments here, let everything kick on.
yeah.
Yep.
How are you rolling today, D6?
Live. This is our live.
Hooray!
Hooray.
Oh, yep, I
We're
just got my
live.
notification too that we're...
We're doing it.
We're here, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, there we are.
Let's see. Everything looking good over there, Tech? Sierra?
I think so. I don't think you have more of an echo than normal.
Okay. As long as we're at acceptable echo levels.
Butt cheeks.
Yeah, you sound fine, kid.
At every session. We
Perfect.
just, yep.
Perfect.
We need Kenny just to yell butt cheeks at some point.
That is a good sound check.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
it-
consistent.
yeah. Well, I mean, you've got the sounds in there.
Yeah.
You've got like it's got a nice. It actually hits like all
And the
things
K.
you need to be checking for. Yeah.
Cheeks. I guess that's more of an S. Eh.
Get a little bit of the sound.
Yeah, but you're getting like all the sounds that like are usually disruptive. So if they're all coming through good, then yeah. If it passes the butt cheeks test.
Butt cheeks.
Awesome. Welcome everybody. We're here for another week at the Mournful Shores. We'll go around and do some introductions and recap, and we'll get started. Edda.
I did go first today.
Yes.
We had dinner. There was an obscene amount of courses and far too many forks
And spoons.
and spoons. Were there knives? I don't even know.
Probably.
We
There
ate
were.
something called a flump. That was fun.
Granthor had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thor had 3. We're entertaining the notion of taking the young lady Celia out on the town to try to lure her brother out. So, we'll see how that works. I'm Sierra. I'm playing Edda. She's a Rune Knight fighter. I always forget. This time.
Awesome. Granthor.
I am Kenneth. I play Cranthor, a zealot barbarian in service of our homebrew god Rumblefick, the god of nature. Granthor got to eat a bunch of food, and now he's tired.
That is fair.
Oh.
Cassian.
Hi, I'm Drake. I play Cassian Volkov, the assassin rogue, and also 1 level in our homebrew psionic class. So let's see. Last time we had dinner with the Lord, which was interesting. We'll put it that way. Very good food though, and very good wine. So fan of that. We did all kind of have a chat about taking Miss Celia out into the town and what that would mean for us, trying to get her brother to come out. We also talked conspiracy theories about whether or not Lord Jensen actually had his own son captured. So that was kind of interesting, but other than that, I think that's it for me. Oh, and I left.
Yes.
I wandered off in the evening.
I'm Andrea. I play Runwin, who is a lurker of the Deep Warlock, currently still in UA. So we had dinner. It was very difficult to teach Edda all of the things, but she got it, and I was very proud. And everyone was really on their best behavior in front of the Lord. It was pretty great. Plum pudding. I've got a lot of notes. A lot of them are just not useful in any way, shape, or form. So basically, yeah, we're gonna maybe take Or it sounds like we're gonna take Celia out and maybe lure her with the guards, but I too am very tired. Run with Aunt Andrea. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah.
Right.
No character voice for my intro.
Yes. And I am the Dungeon Master, William David Linder IV. And we will pick up here with the rest of the party, I believe, now resting in their homes, with the exception of Cass.
Yeah.
You leave your abode. Your servant, waiting dutifully outside, turns towards you silently, awaiting your orders.
Thomas, evening. You happen to have that pipe I asked you for?
Yes, Cassian, and he produces.
Thank you. Cass will take that, put it in one of his just little pouches he's got, if it'll fit, or into the coin purse you're holding. If not,
It'll slide in.
okay, I'll slide it in there then. Thomas, could you deliver a message for me, actually?
Of course.
I'm going out for a little bit. If you wouldn't mind telling Ronwin's servant and also Edda's servant that I'll be around. I don't want to wake Ronwin or Edda if they're sleeping, but
Understood.
just so they know I'm out.
Is there anything you would like upon your return? A hot bath, meal.
I'll be fine, thank you.
Very well.
And then Cass will head off.
What time of night is it?
You are at, let's say, like 10:30.
Oh, okay. And we've had a whole big day doing nothing. Edda probably would have gone to bed, realized she hadn't done anything all day, and then went back out, put a candle in her window, and went back to polishing her armor.
Sure. Let's see. That is passive perception. 14. Yeah.
She's not
We-
going to notice anything.
Nah, I was
She
gonna
just
say
goes back
that you wouldn't.
downstairs.
Well, I was gonna say with Cass noticing there's a light in her window. He'd assume she's up actually at that point, because I'm sure he'd pick it up with his 16, I think. Passive.
Yes. Yeah, it's easily
Okay.
noticed.
Actually, scratch that, and he'll actually head over to Edda's house and knock on the door.
Sure. You go to approach, and Penelope stands outside.
Penelope's outside.
That's who actually went in and got stuff from Cass, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor
She,
Penelope.
she gives like a little curtsy and
Cass will give her a nod.
doesn't say anything.
Then he'll wait for a few minutes to see if Edda opens the door.
Oh, yeah. She's back in her pajamas, and she's got, like, polish on her face, and she opens the door.
Edda,
Ah.
hi. You mind if we step inside a minute?
Yeah, come on in. Just
Uh,
armor pieces scattered everywhere. What's up?
Oh, so, first thing, forgot to give this to you earlier, actually. But he's going to reach into his bag and actually pull out the, parasol.
Ah, yes.
So, I don't know about you, and he's going to lower his voice a little bit. I don't like to be unarmed. So, and he'll pull out where it's a blade. You'll see a short sword. I really got this to fuck with Rowan. I thought it'd be funny if I gave it to her and then, pulled out the blade later and, But she got her own little thing, so I figured for dinner he'll close it. If you decide to.
It's a little out of character. I don't.
It is, however, it is.
It's pretty cool. That's
it
neat.
is not customary for men to carry such items, so.
Aw, you look cute with it, Cass. You look fine. Nobody'd question it.
No.
I think the Lord might think otherwise. But
Maybe him. Well,
But
thank you. I appreciate it.
anyway,
It's pretty nifty.
it is. Just keep in mind it is a little heavier, so if someone else holds it, they might know something a little off about it.
It's my wrist weight. So I can do things when I'm bored.
Pretty much, but I just wanted to make sure that you could use it if you chose to.
I
Again.
appreciate it.
I don't like to be unarmed, so.
I don't like to be unarmed either, but that's alright. I got
Um,
2 fists and a willingness to use them.
Fair enough. I prefer blades myself, but you know. Anyway, I'm headed out for a bit. Gonna go check out the town. Just kind of wanted to let you know before I left.
Good job! Good job! I'll pat him on the shoulder.
I am trying,
You're doing great, buddy.
but
Be careful.
oh well.
I
won't be
swear
out
to
too
God,
long.
if we have to go find you in the morning, I'm gonna be pissed.
No taken. Understood. Yep. Got it.
Have a good night. Have fun.
Oh, I will. Gonna go check out what those rafts are. And maybe take a look with the Mason Shadow as well.
Be on the lookout for spiders.
Oh,
They don't seem to be as far out as they thought they were.
yeah, really don't want to go underneath the docks or anywhere near that area, so thank you.
Yeah. Alright, well, be careful.
Oh, well. Have a good night.
You too.
And they'll head out.
Okay. Yeah. So you go to leave the compound. I assume you're just gonna go through the front
Oh, yeah.
entrance. And on your way out, you are passed by a group of 5 individuals who are cloaked. You can hear the telltale signs of some of them wearing some kind of armor with metal. They don't really give you much notice as they go by, and they continue their way toward the manor.
Are these the mercenaries?
They
Can I
are
tell?
not dressed in the uniform of the mercenaries, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're not.
Okay, so they don't have any emblems identifying them?
No, there's nothing on them that's identifying.
Okay. And that mercenary group that Jimson employs, Cass knows the name of them, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You are looking for actions. So this group of mercenaries is known as the Gilded Halberg.
Sorry, Gilded
Halberg.
Hallberg. Okay. Got it. With that, Cass wants to head down towards the docks, checking out, seeing if he can find someone on one of those small rafts.
Yes.
While
Okay.
keeping an eye out for any tails, and then
Right.
but we'll be up for stealth checks to try to just kind of mingle with people.
Okay. So it is a bit of a walk. You have to come down from the hills into town and then out to the dock. Or I guess you could just go to the shore and straight over, whichever way you prefer.
He'll just head down the pathway.
Okay. Yeah. So it'll take 30 minutes if you're in a hurry.
Okay.
But after that time passes, there's not a lot of people out to stop you. As you kind of come from the direction of the estate, there are a couple of individuals near that entrance who are armed with pole arms, and they kind of eye you and nod and allow you on your way.
If it's Jimson's guards, Cass will pull down the hood. And...
They're not.
Oh, okay.
They don't have a uniform per se.
Got it.
As you are going through the streets, they are illuminated by these kind of glass cages that are suspended on poles throughout the streets, and there is a kind of floating orb of light inside of each of these cages that gives a decent illumination to the area immediately around it. They are more effective than, say, torchlight.
Okay. Cass has seen those before, I'm sure.
No, actually.
No?
This
Okay.
is the first time you've seen a light fixture quite like this.
Okay. Keep that in mind. Which he's not trying to stick to the shadows, more just if there's crowds, blending in with crowds, blending in with people, just trying to
Sure. So the streets,
inconspicuous.
aren't very busy. A lot of the vendor carts that were there when you arrived are gone. And then there are a number of people who seem to be like returning home. As you continue through town toward the docks, it gets more and more empty until there's just a handful of stragglers here or there. Out at off of the kind of beach next to the pier, there are, you can see drifting away the last of the rafts that you were looking at earlier.
Okay.
It's a small device, probably no larger than, say, this.
Oh, okay. So they're very, very small then.
Right. Yeah, and just kind of rectangular, maybe a little more narrow, and then pushed out.
No people on those, or are they?
You don't see anything standing. They do have kind of a lip to them, so they. From this distance, it's hard to tell because there's no light source. But if you were to squint really hard, and by the light of the moon, maybe a perception check could give you a better idea of what's inside.
Same as my passive, so only 16.
Okay. Yeah, you're not able to quite make it out. You do see that there is some kind of bundle inside of the couple that are near you. And as they move out a little more, you could swear you see one move a little bit. But you aren't able to make out the contents.
Oh, she touched babies.
Is Cass able to get down there, where he can see?
If you were to like run out along the pier, you might get closer and it'd be easier to see.
He's going to. He's curious. He saw something move and wants to know what's in that.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of get him. You just sprint, down the way up the pier. It gets you probably about 10 feet away from one of them. That's kind of listlessly working its way in toward the lake.
Is there actually a pole or something that he can grab to pull it to him?
Yeah. There's enough kind of equipment around the dock. You could snag something and try to get it in.
That's what he's going to try to do, kind of pull it closer so that he can actually look to see.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a attack roll.
Oh, that's a 17 on the die.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to make contact with the thing and secure it enough to pull it in. As it comes closer to you, you're able to make out the contents a little better. There are several kind of knickknacks around in here, but the centerpiece is what appears to be a small scaled child or infant that kind of looks up at you with these fish-like eyes, these round kind of yellowish orbs that don't seem to be able to focus very much on one thing, kind of flit about across you. A small gurgling noise comes out of it, and it kind of doesn't do much else. It appears to be pretty tightly contained, and it's swaddling.
I'm just going to sit there for a minute because he's just like, what the fuck?
That's a baby.
That's a baby.
That's what Cass is going, like, this is a baby, but also, like, what do I do with it if I take it? Like, it's like, I have... He's going to look back to see if there's anyone around at the moment, too.
You've roped the thing in, or you've dragged it in, you've picked it up, looking around. And there are some individuals who are nearby-ish. It looks like one of them is looking in your direction and seems to be motioning for a couple of other figures that are dimly illuminated to join him as he begins to walk your way.
Cass is going to look over in their direction, then, I'm sorry, and he's going to let go and, try to evade these people.
Okay, yeah, so it's a pretty open area. You'll have to basically run away from them pretty directly. But you do suspect that if you were just full on sprint, you might be able to get away. One of the individual who pointed toward you is wearing robes similar to these. And it has some sort of pendant around their neck, as well as at first glance, it might be like a walking stick, but it actually appears to be like an oar that they are kind of using to facilitate movement as they approach you.
Oh yeah, no, Cass is gonna full on run.
Okay. Yeah, so
And
you,
if he's
you
got to
take
move
off
towards
out
him,
of
he
there.
will.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where so you're like on a pier, they're over on like the boardwalk area, and you're essentially just trying to run off the pier and go this way before they can come over
Gotcha.
with you.
He will definitely do that, and whenever he can break line of sight, he will try to do that as well.
Okay,
And
I
if he
see.
needs to climb, he will.
Climbing would be an option. You could definitely try to get on top of the shops that line the boardwalk. You can also try to take cover behind the various like equipment carts, barrels, and things like that line the way.
Yeah, he'll full on sprint, break, to the right or wherever he needs to move,
Mhm.
then try to go for an alley.
All right. You find an alley, dash inside. A few moments go by, and you hear the sound of a little bit of shouting in the distance. Nothing too startled, more just calling someone attention. And then nothing.
Cass will wait a few more minutes trying to hear any movement near him. And then once he thinks it's safe, he'll move out of the alley, the opposite direction, of course, of which he came. But
Okay. Yeah, I'd say probably a couple minutes in past that, a couple of individuals, one with a torch, do walk by the alley, peer inside, but they don't really go down it at all, so the torchlight doesn't quite reach you, and then they continue walking down the street.
after that, then he'll head out. He will head over towards the where Chazok is at,
Okay. Yeah, to the Pickled Patron.
and check the outside for any Mason shadow markings.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead and give me an investigate.
Not good. That's only an 8.
So the issue here is that there are so many markings just all over it, everything from just various limericks to graphic drawings, that it's hard to make out if there is actually an important etching anywhere in the wood. You imagine maybe if you came back at daylight, it'd be easier
Okay.
to find it.
He is going to go ahead and
There is raucous laughter and loud noises coming from the doors.
he will then try to figure out where Madame Gelma is. So once he doesn't see anything in particular.
Okay, yeah, so you know that the poorhouse is in Old Town,
Mhm.
And it's a pretty dominant structure.
Okay.
So are you taking any special route there, or just gonna head straight over?
Head straight there. He's not too concerned. He's still keeping an eye out for tails and also, of course, trying to blend where he can.
Sure.
So like news around town?
Hmm?
And tails as in like news around town or
No, tails as in like watching for people following him.
Oh, people tailing him. Okay, sure.
Okay. You don't notice anybody following you, but as you approach the nearest entrance to Old Town, a familiar and unsettling sight comes up before you. A large wagon, a double wide with colorful patches of just kind of squares and absurd design, stands before you on the street. The cart is now being pulled by what appear to be two kind of gelatinous creatures that have the vague outline of a horse.
Mm-hmm.
There are what appear to be suspended bits of fruit inside of this.
Jello horses.
Oh my god.
I don't like it.
Awesome.
And they have a slight scent of brandy comes off of them.
Are these fruitcake horses?
They might
Yep,
be
I'm
fruit
pretty
cake
sure.
horses.
Yep.
They chalky.
He's going to move around it, move into an alley, and try to go around.
Sure. As you are navigating around, you hear the wagon doors open, and the kind of a, and then The sound of a footstep and then a much louder footstep come down from the stairs. You kind of taking cover to get around. Could you give me a stealth check, please?
Hoods up. Natural 20.
Hey!
Okay. Yeah, the
That's
Mr. Putresso
clutch.
does not seem to notice you as you come within maybe 5 feet of him as he is going about his business.
Kev's just kind of holding his breath for a minute, letting him pass.
He smells of burnt flour and sugar, and some other scent you can't quite make out initially. The look of just kind of a unhinged glare as he casts his eyes about, apparently studying those new horses of his. Before he pulls out a dagger and just kind of slides it along a little bit, and then gets a scraping of whatever substance they're made of and samples it. He just stands there for a few moments, and then kind of does his now staggered walk back into the wagon.
Cass is now wishing he kept that oil barrel just fired. Goodbye! After that, moving around, trying to stay out of sight.
Okay, yeah, you get around that wagon and then work your way further into Old Town. As you transition to this part of town, the flagstones, or the street, I should say, the streets go from being made of bricks to flagstones, and the foundation of structures takes on a kind of more blocky design. Large timbers with just huge blocks of hewn stone comprise many of the buildings here. Basically just as soon as you leave the dock area going into here, it's an immediate change.
Okay.
The houses around you appear kind of dark. There are some lights on, but outside of the occasional candle in a window, it doesn't look like there's a lot of activity. Going by, you do pass a couple of individuals who seem to be like sleeping in alleys off the street. And you also pass by what appears to be a elf who is just running, and not past you directly, but near you, just running down the street.
Cass will move off to the side just a little bit so that, they won't collide.
Okay.
Basically, his concern, pickpocket.
Yep.
That I'm going to move to the side so that we don't actually touch.
That's fair. Yeah, the elf passes right by you. Doesn't really give you a second glance.
Okay. And he'll keep moving towards the poorhouse.
Okay, yeah, so you make your way through these kind of winding streets into what almost feels like a stone maze that's been built out of all these buildings that are huddled close together. Eventually you come across what looks to be an entrance to a grand hall. Two large oaken doors stand inside of a entryway that is supported by grand pillars of wood that are that are rather supporting these large blocks of stone that have been stacked on top of each other to create kind of a terrace. This structure is big. It goes probably a couple 100 feet back. It rivals any of the warehouses you've seen so far in size. But instead of having just a large blocky shape, this one, it looks like it was at one time maybe like a great hall for a lord or something like that, and just it has an architecture that predates a lot of what you're used to seeing.
Okay. He is going to look along, trying again to see anything with the mason shadow that's in this particular on this structure.
Sure, could be another investigate, please.
That's much better. That is a 19.
You find there's an emblem for do not rob, and there's a second emblem for danger.
Danger.
Danger,
Can
Will
he-
Robinson. Danger.
Yeah, can he tell what kind of marking that was? Who might have put that on there? If it was like the Mason Shadow, or if it was, say, a different organization, or
You'd probably be able to tell it's same writer.
okay. That's interesting. So you said do not rob and also danger.
Mm-hmm.
With that being there, he does not want to go in there. He's like, yep, okay. Got my information. With that, he is going to go ahead and head back towards Jimson, his estate, avoiding where he saw Patricio at.
Taking another route.
Taking a different way because that's
No thanks.
yeah, don't wanna get anywhere near that.
Okay.
And he will actually try to be faster this time, so he will go ahead and run.
Go ahead and roll a disadvantage on your stealth check then, please.
Or will it be flat with the
Oh yeah, be flat.
14.
14. Okay. As you are working your way out of Old Town, in one of the alleys you pass by, several individuals kind of pop out. One of them reaching to grab you.
Oh,
All right.
what?
It's a 15.
Does not hit.
That will miss you.
Yep.
So yeah, he swipes out. He doesn't quite grab you, but he's a pretty big, burly looking guy, and he's got some kind of rough and tumble friends with him.
Where were these guys when Xavier and I were out? This is what we were looking for, not some friggin' spider.
Is that initiative, or am I able to respond?
It would be initiative, actually. Yes.
All right.
No.
So Cassian,
13.
13. All right. You still go before them.
Oh, sweet.
What do you do?
Very quickly, am I able to see whether or not the guy that tried to grab me has a weapon on him?
Yes. He is armed with what appears to be a club.
Oh, okay. I will go ahead and movement action and also bonus action dash. So if he gets a swipe at me, that's fine.
Okay.
He also get to take a hit to the club with the club.
This time he will make a purchase with you,
Oh, he's gonna grab me. Okay.
and I need you to roll an athletics check, please.
All right. Athletics, or can I do acrobatics?
Only to escape a grapple.
Okay. That's a 15.
You still beat him. So
Ah.
yeah. he gets you, but you shake it loose and just keep going.
Yeah. No. Cass is just.
Gone.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, as you're running away, you think you hear the sound of something hitting the pavement kind of behind you, but you're able to outrun them.
Nice.
Oh yeah. He's just gonna continue going, and then if he thinks he can get up somewhere, actually he'll go up.
Okay, yeah,
Hi.
go ahead. Give me a acrobatics.
That's a 18.
Okay, yeah, you're able to kind of jump your way up onto the first story of the buildings, and for the most part, you can run across them pretty easily.
Parkour.
And then he does want to look to see where they're at.
Okay, yeah.
So do a perception if I can.
Sure. Give me a roll since you're actively searching for them.
My passive is better. Only a 15.
That is still enough. You see that there are the three of them who came out at you are kind of looking around and things to see where you went. They've produced a lantern now and are kind of searching around. There is a fourth individual who has come out of another alley nearby who has a net and is kind of glancing about, just kind of into behind crates and stuff.
And they've lost me at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Cass wants to try to figure out if they've got any identifying marks on them. I know
Who
it's...
are these people?
Yeah, he's trying to figure out who they are, what they want. Obviously, they want to catch him,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, what would be the purpose?
By their just physical basics, they look like they could be natives. They have the dark, oily hair, kind of the sharp features, and generally they're the correct stature
Okay.
for people from this area. In terms of a exact faction, you don't see a badge or anything of that nature.
Okay.
Their equipment looks pretty roughshod, so whatever they've gotten, it's not been kept up the best.
Okay.
If they're part of an organization, it is a small-time one.
Gotcha. More so, Cass is just trying to figure out, do I need to do something more than just hide from these people?
Mm. They do resemble somewhat common street ruffians.
Okay. Then he's not too worried about them at the moment. He will go on the opposite side where they are, down, and then continue his way off.
Okay.
Do you need acrobatics to get down?
It'd be easy. I wouldn't require a roll for this
Okay.
one. So yeah, you work your way down and leave. Is there anything else you want to investigate?
Not at this point. His big thing was trying to figure out if there's anything particular with Gelma, anything interesting with Chazoth, and then of course figure out what are they just sending off, and he found that out.
Yep.
So, nope, he's done.
As you're walking through the streets, you realize it is strangely quiet, especially for being a coastal town. The lack of the sound of water lapping against the shore, and then a quiet wind kind of constantly eddying through the town, just leave this kind of eerie silence that's occasionally broken by the sound of a chamber pot emptying, or just random, like some drunks staggering around in the streets still.
Okay.
Occasionally, what appears to be a patrolman passes you. The only common characteristic you see between them is they all have similar armaments.
Okay.
So each one is wearing a chain shirt, and they all have a pike. And that's it. The clothes they're wearing with it. There's not a tabard or anything like that. And they appear to kind of maybe not so much be patrolling as kind of just going around and checking in on things. Occasionally they find someone who's wandering around and help direct them where they're trying to go or something like that.
Any of them try to interact with Cass, or just kind of let him go on his way, since he seems to be knowing, he seems to know where he's going.
Since Cass is moving in a pretty purposeful manner, they don't really
Okay.
bother.
If any of them kind of look his way, I'll just give him a quick nod and continue.
They just give up and then keep on their way.
And then he will pick up the pace too once he gets out of the town, so that he can get to Jimson's a bit faster.
Okay, yeah, you run to Jemson's. The guards, of course, let you in.
Oh yeah, as he approaches too, he'll slow down so he doesn't look like he's just some guy trying to just
Russian.
run in.
You arrive back at the estate. Are you going to your cabin?
He'll start to head that way, then he'll head over to Edda's and knock on the door.
Okay.
How long's it been?
It's been all that running around at least a couple hours. So it's about midnight, a little after now.
Yeah, I've probably gone to bed. But if you knock, I don't know, will I wake up?
Well, on your way, Penelope is kind of still there. And as you approach, she kind of holds a hand up, and she's, "Is there anything I can help you with, Master Cass?"
No, just kind of see if Ed is still awake.
Edda, Mistress Edda is currently resting. I can take a message for you?
No, I'm fine. And then he'll awkwardly walk back to his place.
Sure. You get to your place, and Thomas is like kind of leaned against the door, and he appears to have passed out.
Aww.
Just kind of in the doorway.
Cass will just gently nudge him a little bit.
Oh, Master Cassian, I'm sorry. I
Cass
was
will
blinking a little longer than I should have.
You're fine. Come inside.
Joins you, and is there anything I can do for you, sir?
Cass will lock that top door. No, just take a seat. Sleep in here.
Thank you, sir. If you need anything, do not hesitate to wake me.
Of course, you need a blanket or something, pillow.
No, I
Down
can
here.
sleep at the table. I just need just a small rest, just a nap.
Scoosh.
There's a chair, like nicer one.
I suppose.
You should rest. You look tired.
Thank you, and please don't tell Francois.
Let's just see the phone. And Cass will actually go upstairs, grab a blanket, grab a pillow, bring it back down, offer it to Thomas,
He avoids eye contact and takes them.
and then Cass will head upstairs. Good night, Thomas.
Good night, Cassian.
And then he'll go to bed.
All right. You all sleep restfully. One of you will need to sleep in a little more than the others. But yeah, the day comes and the smell of breakfast greets each of you. From below each of your windows, you hear the clattering of carts. And as you look outside, there are the help staff has pushed up these trays of food and everything else that they are kind of positioning in front of all of your homes before the servants kind of in unison come to each of your doors and at 8:30.
Cool. Rodman's up.
Yeah, it was already up.
Cranthor probably wouldn't have been, but he gets up.
All right. Does everyone answer their doors?
Yeah?
Yours is not. Your Thomas is waiting outside, and he is basically sending the cart back.
Oh, nice Thomas.
Cass is still sleeping, just resting.
But for the rest of you, different saucers of juice, milk, coffee are brought in, as well as a combination of eggs, fish, bacon, various breads, and oils. It's a very hearty breakfast.
Nice. I don't think this is like the first good sleep Runman's had in a while, so she is just luxuriating this right now.
As they finish setting all this up for you, your assigned servants each wait for any order you might have to help prepare for the day, anything that you would like them to grab for you before starting on your journey.
No, thanks, Penelope. You've been great.
Of course, Hedda. If there's anything else I can do, please let me know.
No, I don't think so.
You have been doing a fine job, Alette.
Thank you, Master Cranthor. Is there anything else I could do to serve? Perhaps an extra shining of your shell?
Yes.
I will get the brushes.
What? Let my enemies see their reflection before they die.
Look how good you look.
Wow, is that how long have I
Much
had that in my
better
tea?
now.
So yeah, the rest, most of you are just enjoying your breakfast with, you know, the help nearby in case you need anything. As Cranthor enjoys his, there's just a somewhat average tall human male just going across his shell with a small container of polish. He's just kind of like lathering on and then scrubbing away.
Nice.
I'm gonna give him a platinum for that.
Jeez.
He is very pleased with this. Thank you, Master Cranthor. You're most generous indeed.
You are a good servant. You must have done this for some time.
I have some years in this practice.
Do you find it fulfilling?
Some days.
Looks at the platinum piece today.
If there's anything else you need, please let me know. I'm just finishing now.
Thank you, Willett. I think that will be all for today.
Of course. I will be here if you need me.
Feel free to sit.
And he will just find like the nearest seat and just sit, but like at a very like attentive pose.
Relax. That's, you need to work on that, but very good, yes.
I aim to please.
I must find my friends.
As far as I know, that should be easy. Your friends are all enjoying
Ah, there they are.
their meals. You can look out your windows and see everyone's is getting the same treatment you are in terms of the carts being brought out. At this point, they are taking the dishes out of homes now that are not needed and returning them to the estate or the manor for cleaning and whatnot.
Rung will just, when she is ready for the day, just be out waiting for everyone else.
Yeah, it was almost ready to go before breakfast came up, so she's sitting on the stoop probably, kitted out and ready to go.
Cool. Yeah. So like let's say 45 minutes go by, everyone is ready to go.
Except for Cass.
Except for Cass, who is resting.
So Cassian went out last night?
Cassian went out last night.
That's fine. I don't mind. This is more of a, should we go and do a debrief with the expectations and like how we think today's gonna go with the Lord without him, or should we wait on him?
Are we set in stone taking Cilia out today, or
Oh well, that's another thing to
are we
discuss.
doing something else?
I don't know. We are also at the mercy of our employer and what he expects to happen today, maybe?
We didn't end up giving him an answer over supper last night, so I reckon that's probably what he's expecting.
Oh, fair point. Yes. Alright, then that was something we should do as a group. Wait for
Probably.
Cassian.
How much longer do I have? Because you said it was about midnight when Cass hit.
I'm going to assume that you needed an extra 2 hours of sleep total. So you've got about an hour to go.
Okay.
With Thomas faithfully out front, trying to prevent anyone from disturbing you.
I'll go up, if we've been standing there for like 10 minutes, I'll go up to Thomas. What time you get in last night? He told me he left. What time did he get in?
A little after midnight.
Yeah, he's out for at least another hour.
I wonder what he did.
Said he was gonna go poke around town doing sneaky shit, so. He made it back. I'm assuming he found what he wanted.
I could not tell you.
That's alright. Cassian doesn't tell many people many things, so that's alright.
But yeah, he just kind of like bouncing on the balls of his feet.
Aww, he's so awkward. Oh goodness. I'll walk back to everybody else. Well, he's probably out for at least another hour. So, I reckon we can wait on him.
I suppose.
I think I've got a dice. What do I have? I have something.
Alright.
I don't have anything. I lied.
You
I don't think
can
I do.
fast break the hour.
Yeah, we can. I'll just sit there and pick on my lute or something for an hour. Attempt
Okay.
to teach Xavier some more stuff.
Yeah, Xavier tries to like keep up with his flute.
We have a small collection of birds watching us.
Yeah,
We'll give them the
they,
stink eye.
they kind of just line the tops of the cottages.
That's beautiful. I love it.
They all seem very interested in
Aww.
the little musical practice.
He's very good at this.
I'll work on some bits. Like I'll start doing some like jewelry work in my spare. Like since we've got like an hour, I'll just start crafting something.
You imagine if you wanted, they could bring you a full jeweler's kit, like a shop-sized one,
Oh,
if you wanted.
I mean I've got my travel set, so
Okay.
okay. My favorite tools and things. If I need to really solder and like start using things, then I'll like get into that when I get into that. But right now I can just like tool around.
Sure. Anybody else have a downtime activity they want to do? By that I just mean Cranthor at this point.
No, he'd probably fall back asleep.
Okay.
Standing, probably.
Just gleaming in the sun.
Yep.
Alright.
Soaking it in.
Photosynthesis.
Yep.
Yeah, there's actually like a little eddy, like from the reflection, like the eddying of like little bits of heat from like your shell standing in one place
Oh
with the
shit.
sun on it. It's not enough to hurt you.
Yeah.
But for like those nearby, it's that kind of illusion you get on like black top.
Yeah, where you can kind of see it wavy in the
Right.
towards the end.
So strange. Very strange.
But yeah, you guys pass the hour and Cass presumably awakens.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of get ready to go, you see your entire party is just, well, not everyone in the party, I guess, is outside doing something, but they are just kind of, you hear the sound of some music nearby.
Waking up to music. That's interesting.
It ain't that bad.
No, he's inside. Yeah. More confusion of why am I waking up to music?
Now you can look out your window and see them.
Oh yeah.
Really just waiting.
He
Several,
would-
several birds on the sill of your window with their back to you. Also seem to be watching the performance.
He would look, see everyone, and be like, "Oh shit, what time is it?" And then quickly get ready.
Sure, yeah. So you get everything on.
Yep.
Come out. Thomas is, good morning, Cass. Is there anything I can get for you? I delayed the breakfast cart.
I'm good, thank you.
Very well.
Sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to sleep in.
I saved you some bacon.
Thank you, Cranthor. We'll take it and take a bite. That's good.
Found what you were looking for?
Yes. Yes, I did. That's all wrong.
Well,
Morning.
we taking this job or what?
I assume so.
Alright. Seems to me we got a formal conversation to go have.
Yes, indeed. Alright, she just like puts away her, like, puts it, rolls up her little tools and things, puts it away, cracks her neck. Alright, let's do this. And then we head towards the main house.
Okay. You approach the manor. This time, your servants wait behind. As you guys are kind of nearing the entrance, you notice they turn to go into your homes.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably for housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
But the guards at the front of the manor allow you in, and the kind of straightaway that goes to the main hall is as glorious as ever.
Mm-hmm.
there's already some runners coming in and out, and like the beginning kind of movements of the day are in motion since we're now roughly 10:30. So there is some bustle in the estate.
I'm assuming though when we arrive we are not alone. Someone like notices us and comes to us, right?
Funny enough, not immediately.
Oh.
There are a few moments that go by while you're like at the you've come inside, you've been welcomed in.
Yeah.
But you're there for a moment before a servant kind of like notices you.
Yeah.
Oh, and like scurries off, and then a few moments later, Francois like power walking down the hall appears. As he comes within polite conversation distances. I am so sorry you had to wait.
Oh, no trouble at all.
So are you all prepared to speak to Master Jensen?
Yes.
Yeah.
When at his leisure, of course.
Of course. Right this way. He is seeing an informant right now, but he should be available shortly.
Lovely. Can we have a round of coffee while we wait?
Of course. I will see you all made a fresh hot cup.
Thank you.
He goes off to reappear like 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
With a tray of just steaming, like a platter that he is moving like at double speed and just perfectly balancing.
Quite impressive.
Yeah.
It's like
I
throwing out the
was pretty good
scissors.
when I was carrying everyone's coffee, but dang.
Would any of you prefer cream or sugar?
I will take it black, thank you.
I'll hand you yours.
A little bit of both. Thanks.
What she had.
Of course. Doesn't hand you yours.
Black as well, please.
And then he looks up toward Xavier, and Xavier says, if you could just put the sugar in the cream and give that to me, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Hands him the everything but the coffee.
Yep.
Checks out.
Sounds about right.
All right, so that goes by, and then the massive doors at the end of the hall open up, and a servant comes out. And as this is going on, you hear what sounds. There is a raised voice coming through the door. But, well, yeah, you recognize it. So it's the Lord Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear him say, I don't care what their grievances are. They will continue in the mines, and they will have a double patrol to ensure nothing goes wrong, or they will starve until they meet their quotas. The door, as that tirade continues, the door shuts again. The servant approaches.
Run when your friends suck.
My friend is a strong word. And the sooner we find his son, the sooner his son can take over and fix this.
The servant in question comes up to Francois, whispers something to Francois, he turns to you in kind and kind of passes over the remaining coffee things to this servant who goes away. The Lord should be ready to see you shortly. Please follow me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he walks you to the other end of the hall.
It's a very small fly.
Okay.
A gnat, perhaps.
Yes.
And the
Yep.
after a couple more minutes, the doors open, and inside is Lord Jemison in a large chair. A writing table is beside him, and there are there's a large kind of several tables that have been pulled together that dominate the center of the room. There are maps and papers and things kind of across it, and you see some individuals kind of picking this stuff up as you come in. And he says, "Oh, you should be a much more welcome conversation. It's hard to find good help these days."
Sorry, do you mind if I ask if we happen to see the informant come back out?
There are a number of individuals in the room. who you don't recognize,
Okay.
who are kind of dealing with all these like charts and things that have been pulled out. Whether they are, if like there is one person in particular who's the informant or whatever this is, you're
Okay.
not entirely sure.
Okay.
But once they are done, they do leave out the way you came from.
Gotcha. I just wasn't sure if there was anyone cast recognized.
No.
Okay.
No. So, do you have a answer to my offer?
Oh, yes. We would be happy to take the job.
Excellent. I will see that you are given everything that you need to complete this.
Of course. And have you thought about what we discussed the other night?
Yes, I believe that with an armed escort, I am willing to allow my darling Celia to join you out in the town, provided that you avoid any overly dangerous areas.
Of course.
If I catch word that you go too far with her, I'll be quite cross.
A doting father is always.
For clarification, areas that we should avoid just to make sure we do not overstep our bounds.
I remember Old Town was off limits.
Yes, don't go there. It should go without saying that you should avoid the drowned halls. But
Of course.
just in case, the metal fringe is off limits. Really anything outside the town proper, absolutely not. I would also prefer that she is kept off the lake.
Any other suggestions, Lord?
Suggestions. Keep an eye on Celia. She has a mind of her own, very much like her mother.
Indeed.
Do you think she will try to shake us?
I would hope not, but I couldn't say no with certainty.
My lord, if it's not too forward, may I ask if she is also skilled in magic?
She has training in several acts, both magic and martial. I believe if there were confrontation, she could likely defend herself, but, well, if you can have overwhelming force on your side, why would you not?
She has a
Of course,
level.
my lord.
Yay.
More so, I was asking about the illusion magic, say, ability to disguise oneself.
Oh, yes, she is capable of such things.
Very well.
I spent an entire week pretending to be one of the help staff once. Are there any immediate accommodations, an advance on your contract, anything like that you would require?
I shouldn't think so.
At the moment, no, my lord. However, we will be in constant communication in case these things change. Of course. And we will do our best to not need too much of you, of course. For you are our employer. And we wish to do this job to the best of our ability.
Good.
Obviously, without your interference.
You will be assigned a escort of some of my hand-picked best men, who are going to be under the command of Lieutenant Garzau.
Garzau?
Yes.
You. Garzau. And anything else we should know? Sorry, that wasn't the character. Anything else you would like us to? Anything else we should know about these guards?
They will follow my instructions to the letter. They will also do their best to assist your requests, provided they do not conflict with their job.
I see.
And if things get out of hand, they will spirit Celia back to the safety of the estate as quickly as they can.
That would be most safe. Yes, that's all I have. When could we take dear Silly out of the town?
She has been bristling to leave since early this morning. She will be waiting for you on the way out.
Understood. Thank you so much. Well, I can't wait to get a little girl time together and a little shopping done, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And hopefully we will
suppose.
bring you back some favorable information at the end of the day. If not, a lovely day out has been had by your daughter.
Take good care of her.
Of
She's
course.
very precious to me.
I will treat her as if she is of my own kin.
Excellent. Well, I must continue with these dollars. If there is anything else you need, feel free to send a servant to interrupt me. The distraction will be welcome, I guarantee it.
Understood. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I don't believe we introduced ourselves. And I turned to two people who are. There are two other people in the room, right?
There are several actually.
Several.
But they've been trickling out, but there are still some
Oh, okay. Never
that,
mind.
that haven't. They picked stuff up, but they have not left with all the rest of their compatriots.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. I'll leave it. She'll give him a nice look over, nod, and look over, and that's about it.
Passively, you're able to spot that these are company men.
Okay.
They appear to be a. It's basically like a business intelligence meeting where there's are we getting our quotas? What are the workers doing? The kind of standard managing of any operations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. You are, or Francois kind of motions for you to leave.
Did you?
Yep, guess we'll head out with everyone.
Now we go.
As they're
One more thing.
Yes.
If you find yourself being tailed by any large number of individuals or strangers lurking in the windows, shadows, and such, I recommend being proactive in returning my daughter. There are troublesome elements about.
I see. Thank you, my lord.
what kind of troublesome elements are we discussing?
Rabble rousers in the town, those who cling to old traditions and ideas of birthright that have, well, gone well past their time.
No. Thank you, my lord.
Yes. Best of luck.
Which, as we're walking out on the road, I imagine, because we're going to go meet Celia, right?
Mm-hmm. You leave back in the hall, and she, with 4 guards in full plate, are just kind of waiting for you. She is, instead of wearing a dress, she has a kind of nice tailored slacks that come up to, or that have these boots that go over them to about knee length, and then a basic kind of leather armor ensemble, which with some cloths and stuff over it. There's a rapier at her side, and a wand on her other hip. Her hair has been braided back into a single kind of series of knots that goes down in large braid.
Hardcore.
See, Runwin, that's how you go out and travel practically.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Before we reach them, a
What's the
moment.
difference?
You go back.
It is all pristinely kept, though. There's not a spare wrinkle to be found.
Mm-hmm. Looks great. Looks spectacular, and you can run in it.
But yeah, she looks excited as you kind of approach her. The guards part out of the way to allow you to converse. You do notice that they all appear to be pretty poker faced. They appear well disciplined. Who you imagine is the lieutenant is a hulking individual who has a skin tone that suggests that they might not be entirely human in their ancestry.
No. The
Yeah, half Goliath might be possible.
Fuck yeah!
heck
Yes!
But this man stands at roughly 7 feet tall, giving him a nice head and a half over most of his peers, and he has what appears to be a shield that is roughly 4 feet tall, that is currently just like fastened to the back of his plate armor, and then on with the pike that he has, there's also a small kind of armory, just kind of in different weapon components across his armor.
Which, sorry, before we reach them, Cass does want to grab the group too, if you can. Michael, today, Overwatch, yes, we have some concerns about being seen with Jimson's men and being able to question people.
Alright.
So if I sit back, keep an eye out, maybe the brother pops up, maybe he doesn't. I'll be watching for tails, things along that line. Any problems with that?
Of course not.
Awesome.
Sound good.
So he just wanted to, catch them to be like, this is my thought.
I'll go up to. Sorry, I can't decide if I want to go to Garzal first or Celia.
Ed goes
first.
to Garzal.
All right, she goes. Renman goes to Celia.
Yeah, okay, so you both kind of make your way.
And I
to
see
your
like,
group
oh,
chosen.
and Renman's like, ship it, and then
Right.
she'll go off.
As you approach Garzal, he has a very kind of, he's like eyes you for a bit.
Ed's got the same, like, Edda's in size him up mode, so Ed'll stick her hand out.
He returns and then, you look like it'd be a tough fight.
You look like you'd be a tough fight.
I'd break you in two. And he shakes your hand.
I like it. Any particular way you want to divvy up guard duties?
Leave the biggest one to me. Watch my flank. If you see trouble, let me know.
Simple enough.
Hello, darling.
Oh, it is thrilling to finally get out of here. My father has had me trapped in these walls for ages.
So I've been told, and I just couldn't stand the thought of such a lovely girl like you not being able to go out into the world. I mean, seriously, I just can't help but be reminded of your mother whenever I look at you, and she would love to see. She would have loved to see you out more often.
Yes, I am told that there are many similarities between herself and me.
Of course. However, you are your own woman, and you are welcome to make your own choices. However, we do need you to be safe today. If we are to continue to have these little outings, that means we need to have eyes on you at all times.
I think that would be hard not to do with all of these guards.
Yes, and yes, somehow I have a feeling you would have your ways. How so?
I couldn't imagine how I would ever escape their
Can cast insight check.
steady watch.
Edda just snorts from.
Ooh, terrible 4.
That's a lot. It's hard to get away from.
Yeah, definitely. It's just run, just overlooks the thing. Darling, while we are here searching for your brother, on my spare time, I'd like to improve your father's outlook on maybe you being able to go out. I've seen so many young noble women these days just be trapped in their homes for so long and not being able to the chance to really experience life. I'd like to do my best to work it, but that would mean you must work with us.
Once my brother returns, I imagine Father will be much more willing to open at least to trips outside, if not in the village, elsewhere. We used to be able to travel quite freely.
Exactly. So now that your brother is missing though, we do need to look for him, which is another reason why you're coming out with us.
So we're going to Old Town, right?
Ha, no.
That's where he's most likely to be.
It is where he's most likely to be. But I have a list of places here that your father said it was just outright no.
So all of those.
Yes.
Try all of those.
Exactly. So we will be trying some of those, i.e. the edges of them, safely, because hopefully the more word your brother gets, we might not see him today, but next time we go, we might see him then. Or at least if he sees you with us, maybe he'll want to send a message to you and he'll like contact us. You see the idea?
I think I'm understanding it, yes.
Yes. Bait is a strong word.
But not inaccurate.
No, it's not. So, you benefit from this, and we will benefit from this. This is a business transaction. Please treat it as such.
Very well.
Thank you.
Celia, if I may ask, is your brother able to use magic, say, to disguise himself?
I imagine we have the same tutor, and I can do such things.
Do you know what form he might take? How he might look, since we are keeping an eye out for him?
Well, I mean, really, there's a number of options. He could try to appear as a guard. That would give him fair ability to move around. When we were younger, we would take turns disguising ourselves as Clavicus to see who could get him in more trouble. Clavicus was never very good at magic. Something he always was very frustrated by.
This poor boy has middle child syndrome so bad.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, he's turned out fine, right? Right? Right?
He's just crying alone in a room somewhere.
Oh, buddy.
He's not okay. So that's us. Lieutenant.
Yes.
My name is Ronan Wall. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet yours.
Yes, that's how it works. So, we'd like to head out, and I think the first few things that we should do what do you all think? Go to the fish market by now? They should be in full swing. You'll be able to mingle with the people.
Where you want to go, Celia?
Well, I do think stopping by the docks would be exciting. Maybe we could go out on a ship?
No.
That
And we're probably
was
not
the-
going on the docks. There are spiders at the docks.
We have a capable escort, and I myself am not an unaccomplished fighter.
Gazao, are you going to tell on us the moment we get to a place we're not supposed to be?
I don't know how I'd go about that. Lady Celia's protection is my number one goal, but if she prods, I don't know how I'd say no.
There we are. Sounds like the docks.
Wow.
It
Dope.
is.
Mhm.
Goodness, we're not going
No.
there. That's way too dangerous. Let's just go to the fish market.
That
This is
being
close
said,
close to the docks as I feel comfortable with.
We won't go within sight of the docks.
if we lose control of the situation, I'm picking her up by the waist, slinging her
Please
over
do.
my shoulder, and running home with her, and the rest of you can figure out how to deal with whatever's happening.
It sounds like an awesome plan.
I like this plan very much. What? What's your face?
You looked at me.
Yes, it was like you're not saying anything. It's weird.
Cass is just locking eyes with the lieutenant. Gives him a nod.
May I see your arm?
Oh, God.
Oh, yes!
What cool.
A hunch.
Which, can I roll to see if I recognize him?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's a natural one!
I mean, you do. The reason that you know about this group is they have had run-ins with the Steel Shadow. You yourself have not interacted with them.
I just wasn't sure if he'd heard about him or not.
Right. Although you have some level of notoriety, so there's a chance people can recognize you through reputation.
That's true.
Your arm, please.
Castle offer is right.
I think that tells me what I need to know.
You asked for my arm. This is my arm. This is my dominant hand.
He'll,
I think it is time for us to go, don't you? Come, Celia. Away.
Yeah, he begins to kind of reach out, and then you pipe up like, very well. Form up. And they flank kind of a perfect square around Celia.
Yes, that's not odd at all. All right. Let's do this.
And they all withdraw shield and pike, and they are in formation.
God, my people. This is how
Cass
you
does
run
not at
escort
all.
missions.
You ever fought in a formation before?
I don't know what you've had the opportunity to.
Not in a company like this, but maybe something similar.
Not nearly so polished.
Well, the safe place to be is inside the shield wall.
Yeah, I got that.
Just so you know.
That's where Cilia goes.
And to give you an idea combat-wise, when they do their thing, because it's square, diagonal squares, and when they do their shield thing, they will form a protective diamond that will give half cover to everything inside of it, which leaves 4 squares unoccupied that you could potentially fill within that.
Okay.
area. Just as a combat mechanic.
Thank you. Okay.
Be a good place for run one, I think, if something happens.
Potentially Cassie.
Could
You
you
can shoot between them.
Oh, he can shoot between them, but also Cass is just kind of laughing because it's like half cover.
Wow.
You think that's the safest spot?
sharp
Well, it's safest for everybody
Some
else.
of us aren't
Right.
sneaky sneaks that are gonna go hide places.
I'm not
That's okay.
No, yeah, he's sitting.
Cassian does his best work for the shadows.
Yeah, no, he's sitting back and going to be following at a distance, but again, trying to mingle with people and keep eyes off him.
So Cassian will be hanging back, making sure to keep an eye out and that sort of thing. We could be followed by large groups. He will be first to let us know, unless we spot it first, for some godforsaken reason. Also, if we can avoid the Candyman, so that would be choice. No reason.
There's a big man with a big wagon. He's got 2 limbs replaced with confectionery.
I've seen him.
He's terrible. Can we not go anywhere near him, please?
Festival just ended. I imagine he'll be leaving town.
God, I hope so.
Oh, nice. Oh,
He seemed like he was
I
about
will
ready to
not be
leave last
sad
night.
to see him go.
That's good.
If he gives us trouble, we'll deal with him.
strong word. That's all right. We'll be fine. Celia, where's the last place where have you? You said it's been a minute since you've been out.
Yes.
Any places you normally frequent that you haven't been to in a while?
Well, I haven't been to a pub in ages. And Father thinks that drinking isn't very ladylike, except for dinner things and such. One does have to be able to hold their liquor to be a noble. But
Tell me about it. Splash. Oh, it's a little early in the day to start
oh
drinking
no,
now.
it was just the first thing that came to mind.
Of course.
It's been a long time.
We'll add it to the list.
I would love to go talk with some of the townspeople, merchants, things like that. I don't get to speak to commoners very often.
Well, now is your chance. And we head towards the market area.
Sure.
If that's a thing.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
There's a market district.
Hell yeah.
First place you were at when you
Let's-
came to town?
Let's do that. It's,
Alright.
it's on the list of okay spaces.
It is, yes.
Hell yeah. Silly wants to go to a pub.
At some point,
To a pub and talk with the commoners, which was Brumland's plan for to begin with. Hell yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Hook up as we walk.
Role play with yourself. Do it, God.
So, en masse, you're a group of 10 people, leave the compound and begin to march toward town.
Well, technically a group of 9 and one person's back.
Yeah, they're
No.
well, a hooded
10.
figure.
4 guards, Silly, and the 5 of us.
Right.
Cass is going to be sitting back.
Cass is,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I
he's
meant.
staying back a little bit. Also, it would just be a hooded figure following a group of 9 people. As you go toward town, you do pass some wagons that are coming toward the estate along the way. They look to be carrying like various casks and things. One of them smells of fish and things as it goes by.
Yummy.
Cranthor floats in the air a little bit, following the smell.
Follow your nose.
They or you continue onward, and then you come to a kind of a spectacle as you reach the edge of town. there are a number of individuals gathered around, and in the center of this, there is someone who is being held by the back of their collar. And there's an excited conversation going on between him and what appears to be a priest, with a few individuals with chainmail and halberds pikes that are there. One of those individuals with pike being the guy grabbing him. And you catch people kind of going, thief, thief. I hope they string him up. No, they'll drown this one. And then
Oh god.
some people being like, what did he steal? What's going on? But as you get closer, the individual in the robes is kind of somewhat tall. He's just got this big, not quite unkempt beard, but it's unruly and large, with just like the most basic of combing. He has in his hand like a large oar, and the individual who is before him is a somewhat smaller in person. They appear to have somewhat ragged clothes, and as they're being kind of held back, another individual with a pike comes forward and starts going through his pockets and whatnot until he pulls out an amulet. At the end of it, anyone who is proficient in religion, if any, which might just be Xavier.
Probably. Yeah.
And so Xavier kind of under his weapon. It's an amulet of Vosh.
I didn't just throw my pen.
You definitely didn't just throw your pen.
But
Slippery.
they withdraw it, and the priest just with a look of fury in his eyes, kind of down his nose toward the individual who's a little taller than him. So you see, you cannot trust these riff-raff. They should be contained to Old Town until they're taught penance and discipline. Let's put this one into stocks. We will make a further example of him later, after we have finished our duties to our good Lord Foch. Away! And the individuals with pikes who are already kind of in proximity with him start dragging him off. The crowd starts to break up a little bit. Meanwhile, you see the priest trying to reclasp the amulet back on.
So as he's like trying to clasp it, and Ronald's just like, all right, here we go. Excuse me, dear, may I help you with that?
Oh, would you please? It's
Yes.
so hard to reach.
Of course. Here, allow me.
He'll kind of.
And I, with deft fingers, go click. And it's just done.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. May I ask what that was all about?
And he looks at you, and then he turns and sees Celia, and his eyes widen a bit. Just a local thief, one who has yet to see the guiding lights of Madame Gelma. Surely she can set him straight, once, of course, he has paid penance for his crime.
And he stole this lovely amulet from you.
Yes, I had to remove it for some inspection at a local jeweler, and while it was being worked on, I came to return it, and upon my inspection, this ruffian came by and snatched it from my hand.
I see. What a strange thing to do, especially since you are obviously so important. And then I take a look at that, actually the amulet proper. Is this like something worth stealing?
The metal might be worth a few gold pieces.
Okay.
It probably could feed you for a day,
Okay.
but it wouldn't make you rich.
Strange. Okay. Alright. Yes, so that the thief must have been quite desperate.
Not as desperate as he will be.
Of course not. Well, I'm glad to have met you. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot my manners. My name is Mournful.
Runwin Limbaugh.
Yes.
Pleasure. You're not from around here, I take it.
No, not right now. Just guests of the local Lord Jensen.
Lord Jameson, yes. And his Celia. I have not seen her in some years.
Oh no, thought it a good opportunity to get stretch.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
I know, darling. I know. You tell him.
She always was spiteful.
It's for the best. Gives a good. It'll be good for her.
Well, I am Father Rond.
Father Rond. Thank you so. It's been lovely to meet you, Father.
Oh, what a pleasure. Yeah. Blessings of Vosh to you. And then you get splashed a little bit. And he goes around. Blessing of Vosh to you.
With your cast being further back, you roll stealth or.
You're
blend.
far enough. You're not really part of the conversation.
Okay.
So if you're just trying to be inconspicuous nearby, just standing still is fine. If you're
okay.
trying to like do something in particular, maybe you need a stealth roll.
More so just trying to listen, but stay.
Yeah,
Out of the
he
way.
doesn't see you as being part of this group.
Okay.
And there's other people around you too, so
Yeah.
it's not exactly an empty square.
Yeah, that's what Cass is just trying to do, is trying to blend in.
And yeah, he gives the rest of you a splash,
Thank you, Father.
of course.
Well, may you have a blessed day.
You as well. I hope to see you in our temple.
Walks away. She just sort of like grabs Celia's just like gently underneath the arm and starts walking away with her. It's just like,
Bastard. The man's a bastard.
I can tell. Why do you think I didn't want to? You talk to him. This was gonna end poorly. You look like you would just murder him, Bowen. Eating for breakfast. I mean, I don't even want to think about what Ed could do.
Father said don't offend the locals.
Oh,
So
yes. It's very hard not
You
to
just
do
gotta
that.
learn to twist your words so they don't realize what you're doing.
Yes. So hard. So hard. Fine. I'm fine. Anyways.
yes, onward.
Onward. Great bit of a local experience already. Ugh, people. They're great. And we head to. Well, I mean, we just head to the market. The market
Yeah.
district, and
Yeah,
whatever Celia's fancy is, we will go into.
Sure. So she'll look around a little bit, and go to the area of town. You see her look over at the apothecary. And just, that looks interesting. Let's have a look at that one.
Of course.
And she kind of springs forward a little bit. The guards kind of marching extra fast to keep up with her. And just makes her way through the door, leaving everyone behind her.
Sure.
You all kind of clamber in after her filling this somewhat small business. There was another individual. It looked like they were like browsing like ingredients before a bunch of like burly men in full plate pushed them to like a corner. Just not physically, not like actually forcing them, just the sheer imposing stature of
Yeah.
them all coming in together.
It's like you should find a spot to look elsewhere.
And you see Celia kind of reading the descriptions of potions. You know, I've heard tales of love potions. Are they real? Do those things actually work?
Any stories I hear in the capital tend to be backfire in nature. Like you think they're gonna do one thing and they just blow up in your face. Best to rely on your own charms.
She's absolutely right. I also have a different story.
Oh.
Oh, let me tell you. There was once a duke, not very, very old at this point, who was supposed to marry a very young lady of one of the nobles, and I will admit, I'm not going to say any names, just for their benefit. And she was very cross with her parents for doing this to her. So what she did is she slipped a little bit into their wedding into the wedding cup after that, and may have made sure the first thing he saw right afterwards a goat. Needless to say, it was an interesting wedding night.
Did he mate with the goat?
I cannot say.
She has a little giggle.
Oh, yeah, but of course, this is a story passed down through many different people, and who's to say what really happened? Hilarious as it is, though.
She's going through healing polymorph.
Yes, any questions? I am actually, she does a little hair flip, proficient in Arcana. I worked very hard on it.
What's this one do? And she pulls out a strange kind of spotted mushroom that is in the ingredients, on one of the ingredient shelves.
Can Cranthor do a nature check on
Is it Arcana? I just want to.
No, not at all. I am proficient in nature, though. So fuck you, Celia.
it? Actually, I could aid you instead. Yours is
Oh,
probably
it's-
better.
Yeah, nah, you do your own. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe you're super good at it.
Maybe I'll get a nat 20.
Hey, that's
I got
pretty close.
close.
Good.
That's a 21.
I do not get nearly that. So
Sure. You know that this is a slightly poisonous mushroom that has hallucinogenic effects. It is an ingredient in a potion that might confuse somebody who drank it.
This is mildly poisonous.
So don't eat that one.
Hallucinogenic.
no,
Maybe
no.
that
I know that look.
I keep upon hearing hallucinogenic mushrooms, and it keeps an eye on Xavier.
Yeah, you see him just kind of.
I'll be having that.
No.
So yeah, no.
Shopkeep.
Take a bag of those.
Yeah, no. Ron will do her best to like talk to Celia and be like helpful, but like as soon as it becomes more nature-y, she'll look towards towards Cranthor, and every now and then she'll look at him and be like, "If Simon was here, it would be 10 times more annoying. However, he'd be very helpful in this situation."
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys continue floating through the inventory for a bit. Eventually, she settles on. She does buy that polymorph potion,
Of course she does.
and she also buys a water breathing potion.
Ooh, yeah, of
Oh,
course
no.
she does. Once she makes her purchases, and it's like, "Oh, Lieutenant, will you hold these for her?"
Of course.
Thank you, darling.
And then she kind of looks toward him and you, and strolls out the door.
Follows.
Cass watching from afar, does he see anyone eyeing them?
Yeah, so a little, not right away, but soon after they went into the shop, some people were kind of like pointing and like talking amongst themselves. And not quite a crowd, but a gathering has kind of formed outside of the shop now. People like watching. There are probably like 24 people in this
Castle.
particular area right now.
Cass will join in to that group. What's going on?
Oh, apparently the Lord Jemson's daughter's in town with a bunch of guards and some adventurers. Someone was saying they saw them around for the festival, but maybe they're staying.
Oh, you mean the adventurers staying around?
Yes.
Gotcha. Celia, you said it's Lord Jimson's daughter, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I forgot her name. She hasn't been seen in town for some time.
About how long?
Oh, years? 2-3 years?
2-3 years.
2-3
Long
years,
time.
yeah. Normally the lords are too good to come down here. At least the Jemsons. The Gundersons are far more humble people.
The Gundersons.
Yeah, the Gelmas are saints, but at this point they're hardly lords.
Gilmar, that name rings a bell.
Oh, that's Madame Gelma. Well, her sister maintains their estate out in the country, and she owns and operates the poorhouse. She's a paragon of virtue.
That's right. That's right.
Now, they're coming out. They're coming out.
And Celia comes out with the guards following her, and people are like, oh, what is she wearing? And then kind of tittering amongst themselves.
Cass is just listening for any threats
Yeah, so you don't hear any, like, nothing spoken seems too ominous, but you do see an individual kind of on a couple of others and then gesture off and they kind of look at each other and then they wander away.
Cass will keep an eye about what direction can he gauge where they're headed.
Yeah, so while Celia is going deeper into the heart of town, they cut left. They are going directly to Old Town.
Okay. Cass will keep that in mind as he moves, again, stealthily, just with the people.
Okay. Let's say she keeps on her way, and
As soon as it looks like she's gonna like start going towards a
Hi, Siri.
Hi Siri. As soon as it looks like she's gonna start going towards a direction like towards an area where she knows we're not gonna go with her. She, like Fun was just like, how about this way instead? Back towards the safer areas.
okay.
A redirect.
Just like, no, that ain't gonna fly there, darling. Let's that way.
Let's go to the lakeside.
We'll go as close to the lakeside as we can. Just not very close at all.
And she starts making her way toward the docks.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Granthor wants to keep an eye out for spiders.
Yeah, as soon as we get like within sight of the lake, she wants to give everything a good once over.
Sure. You don't immediately see any.
Yeah.
But upon getting there, this time of the day, the dock is actually not so busy. A lot of the ships are out. The morning kind of fish stalls have done a lot of their sales for the beginning of the day. So you do have like the fish that were picked over are still out and beginning to kind of smell in the sun. You do see kind of individuals who are moving goods around and stuff, pushing carts up and down the dock for various purposes. The probably most eye-catching thing is a individual who is standing up on a box, who has a few kind of sailors or sailor-looking types around him. And as you come closer,
I've seen it with my own eyes. It's out there. It'll grab you and take your ship into the cave. It whispers maddening things. It ate my entire crew. I warn you, it's a devil. Some sort of water devil.
and he continues to go on and on about this horrifying tentacle water cave monster.
Water
Devour.
cave monster.
Yes.
He's got what he's got.
Okay. Like, because I know what the theme of this is supposed to be. Like, I feel like Rum Limbo is just like, that's not a thing. Despite the fact that she
She's
some
on the
bullshit.
tentacles.
Yeah, I smell
I
bullshit.
call bullshit.
I call bullshit. This is not-
Aberrations in the deep.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Aberration.
Edda hasn't seen it. Edda's heard stories about glowing spiders. She's ready to believe about anything at this point.
You had some of those hallucinogenic mushrooms I see.
I wonder what he was on. She says, as Brugman says, looking to Celia.
As this goes on, Celia walks up to the guy.
No, she doesn't.
She will attempt to, and if she is stopped, she'll call out and say, Sir, what? Tell me more of this monster.
Why?
I too would like to hear this.
Joy.
It can get inside your head and talk and nonsense things and you there's a fear that just grips you and it has the ability to make men drown on land. It's the most vile thing.
Can we insight?
Sure.
Check him.
Yes.
Chase. 14.
He seems to believe everything he's saying.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Have I heard of any creature like he's describing?
No.
Yes. It can wait.
And she goes, and what was the name of your ship, sir? And he continues. She's basically just trying to fact check the guy.
Yeah.
And he's able to at least give an answer to everything.
Smart
Run
pants.
will then after that, like, once Celia has gotten most of her facts, and why are you left alive?
I got out of there. There was a dinghy that wasn't crushed, and I rowed as fast and hard as I could.
Huh.
What does this creature look like?
It's giant with tentacles and teeth and a head.
Did you have insurance on this boat?
No. What?
What's insurance?
Insurance.
Never mind. Just sounded like an insurance fraud.
Don't even know what it means.
It's fine.
It's-
It's nothing.
It was terrible. All of you should beware. Avoid those caves.
Tentacles. Avoid the caves.
The caves.
Alright, sure.
What was the name of your ship?
That was.
Since I grew up on the north side of the mountains, has my mom told me any stories? Anything like that of tentacle monsters in the lake?
Give me a just like roll a 20-sided die. It's more of a chance thing than a stat.
A 5.
No. This doesn't really line up with anything you're familiar with.
Cool.
The ship was the Cervantes plow.
I know I didn't spell that right.
Let's see. Well, I didn't spell it right after, so you're fine.
Oh, well, it works then. Excellent.
As long as you're saying Cervantes, you're good.
Well, this has been fun. Can we move on now?
I suppose, but I mean, a lake monster's interesting, don't you think?
Sounds dangerous.
It is interesting, but not something we can investigate with you.
Are there underwater caves in this damn lake?
Off toward the Giant's Fall, yes.
This thing's just a big old ball of creepy wrapped up in some more creepy, isn't it?
This entire place seems to be strange. Did you hear that they have full-on babies that are pot fish? Vosh touch?
Oh, the Vosh touch, yes.
That's a normal thing that happens here?
Here. I haven't seen it elsewhere.
That's not normal.
Well, no, but it's a thing that happens here. It's just their way.
Does it ever happen to noble children? Or only...
The poor. Yeah, isn't it classist affliction?
You see her kind of thinking about her words carefully.
Oh, it isn't. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't give it away. So.
There are rumors
Yes.
that and she kind of looks around a bit and says, no, maybe not here.
Of course.
But it can happen to anyone as long as they are from or in this area, as I understand it.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Push touched children can happen.
However, I've been told that the fully grown ones are quite dangerous.
Well, yes, if you grew up feral, how safe do you think you would be?
I don't think that they would grow up the same way no matter how you raise them. They're not like us.
Well, no one's tried now, have they?
I want to side-eye Garzal when she says that. I just
Okay.
want to see if I can look at him and see if he has a reaction when she says that.
Sure. Sure, passive.
Not great. It's 15.
Insight. So I was
Yeah, no, but not good at all.
Okay. Yeah, you. Damn fingers around this eventually.
There you go.
You notice that
he seems a little uncomfortable. More of just like a strained grimace, but he doesn't appear to be like doing anything else. It's just kind of
okay.
listening to a topic that he would rather was not being talked about right now.
Moving on.
Has Cass seen anyone trailing back from Old Town?
You have not seen any of the people that you saw before. There are others like forming nearby-ish, like as people are like, oh my god, what's going on with that? Is that Celia? And people kind of around gossiping about. Some have followed, some not the ones who slipped away, but others from the market district, I should say, did follow. At this point, you have like a small crowd of admirers, or at least curious parties, who seem to be staying nearby, but not necessarily trying to get that close.
Okay. And again, he's just listening for threats and then trying to keep an eye out to see if anyone's coming from anywhere or watching very closely.
So let's go to that pub.
Sure.
I'm feeling a bit peckish. How about you?
I could go for something.
Though, actually, Runman takes a look at the crowd. Not necessarily looking for Cass, but like just looking at the size of it, just like, though we should probably head to a safer place.
Like how safe?
Like somewhere closer to the Noble District?
Oh, sure. We can go to the Admiral Bar.
Of course. Perfect. The Admiral Bar it is.
She kind of leads the way.
Yeah.
I don't really know where that is. You could have told me any place girly this year, and you could have gotten away with it until we got there.
So the Captain's District does have a wing that extends out toward the lake.
Okay.
The buildings do stop prior to reaching the shore,
Okay.
but there is there's a pier that's like a standalone pier, and then a like large galley on the water.
No.
And the sails are all furled up. It's not ready for sail, but it appears to be a remarkably well kept ship.
Nice.
And she kind of leads the way.
Is the bar on the ship?
The bar, yeah, the ship leads to the bar.
Nah, pick another one, kiddo. Good try.
What do you mean?
On the lake. We're not going on the lake. Pick one
It's
on a street.
hardly on the lake.
It is in the water that makes it on the lake.
Sounds like a point.
It's right there.
Make a
It's
new
not
choice.
going anywhere.
Make a new choice. There are plenty of other ones. Oh no, please don't do this. Come on. Pull some shit and Garzow's taking you straight back.
Yeah, what she said.
Damn, come on, buddy.
Yes, I do admire the ingenuity.
Yeah, that was pretty smart.
Fool a bunch of out of towners.
Well, that's the only bar I know of in the Captain's District, so...
This, look at her. This fucking full of shit child. Children. They're the worst.
She's so smart, though. I almost want to give it to her.
A few moments.
Fine.
Oh, okay.
Fine. We'll go to this one, and then we're going straight home. It's the last stop, then back to the house.
Fine.
Alright. To the totally not going anywhere ship. And if it does, so help me, I will sink it.
That's fair.
Might be counterproductive, but alright.
Good, then
Ron's
not
already
going
proving she hates boats.
What's
I
that
was
deep?
Just a deep-seated hatred for boats.
Don't like them. I don't know why.
Big scouring sweep of the dock area and surrounding.
Sure. So this is isolated from like everything else.
Mhm.
There are not any more ships. There's no shops or anything. There's a big stretch between the homes where the captains live and this bar.
No giant murder spiders.
You don't see any crawling around.
That's
Oh,
good.
no.
You haven't checked under the pier yet, so.
No, I'm not going to.
Cranthor's gonna check under the pier.
Okay. Tell me how you go about that. Give me a detail.
Yes.
Hands on the edge, and then stretch my neck out and just look underneath.
Okay.
Chop.
And then you check out below, and
I would draw one
Decapitated.
sword and I'm standing by Granthor.
Yeah, you outside of maybe a little bit of wood rot going on down there. You don't see anything too suspect.
We good?
No spiders.
Oh, thank fuck.
By the time we reach this point, has most of the crowd like dispersed because we're in a spot that they shouldn't really be, or have no place to be, or
They're further back, but they're not gone.
okay.
But they are kind of like watching from afar. Like, should we go to the bar?
Yes, we're going to the bar.
And then there's just more tittering and whatnot.
Crowds. What can you do? All right, onward. And then Runwin, I guess, will lead us in this time.
Awesome. So you make your way to the inn.
Oh, it's an inn?
Or sorry, it's a ship on the water. You might have betting.
Okay.
To this floating vessel of booze.
There we go.
And you are greeted by what appears to be a person in like a very over-the-top admiral outfit. They've got the tricorn hat, the powdered wig. They basically look like a colonial type.
Well, aren't you a feast for the senses?
Ha, madame, welcome to the porch. Hold on, that's not correct.
Oh no,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Oh yes, it is. Welcome to the port house.
Penchant for puns, do we?
We are voracious for them.
Yes. Honestly, I do love a good pun.
Hmm.
And I respect the porthouse. All right. Just to make sure this boat doesn't go anywhere, right?
Hasn't for some time.
Good. Let's keep it that way. Show us to our seats.
Of course. And then he inside, and there are menus just kind of scattered about the place. It actually has a kind of fine dining atmosphere.
Nice.
Would you like to be on the deck or in the hold?
The hold, if you would.
Of course.
Don't need anyone diving off the edge now, do we?
Let's see. And he motions for a few waiters who are dressed similar to him. And they push a couple of tables together so that you all can sit.
I'll sit. No, do you? I'll look at. Do you want to? Let's put Celia between you and Garson.
Yes, let's see it.
You both have a better chance of
Reaching
Grabbing
out,
her.
grabbing.
Yeah, the only thing that I can do is just sort of knock her over with a bunch of water. So
Oh,
I'll sit
goodness.
across from her, and everyone else can sit wherever else.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
No, it's great.
Okay.
Look at it, I like it a lot.
Just laughter. No. Does Cass join us now?
No, Cass is playing Overwatch outside still, keeping an eye on that crowd.
Oh, he
Yeah.
has a handheld?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
He's actually doing that.
He's Switch. He's got
Yeah.
Overwatch on
He's
Switch.
yeah, he's just playing Overwatch.
He's not being a mercy means sucked enough on the PC.
Oh, please. He's like Hanzo
Maine.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's rough.
It is Cass.
But a Hansa name?
Can't get it. Yeah, he's a pew pew boy.
Well,
I don't know, Widowmaker maybe.
Oh yeah.
that's choice.
Yep.
So edgy.
Sniper. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, he's going to climb up somewhere that he can keep an eye over everything.
Sure. You have some options. So there are buildings that are across the way you could try to get on top of and keep an eye on it. You could also try to sneak onto the ship and get into the crow's nest.
Mm, he wants somewhere that he can get down very easily, so his goal
You
is
could get down from a crow's nest pretty easily.
through ropes or something like that.
Yeah, it has rigging and stuff that makes it pretty accessible.
About high up would that be though?
That would give you... You'd be about 30 feet up in the air.
Oh, only about 30 feet, okay.
You could totally survive that fall.
Well, survive that fall, but then the other piece is that I don't want to get out of range of my longbow, which would be hard to do at 600 feet, but...
Actually, no, sorry. On a ship that size, that would be closer to 50.
Okay. He doesn't want to cause a scene with anybody, so if he doesn't want to get on the ship, he's going to go ahead and go kind of across the way and go up.
Okay. Then, yeah, you can find some building.
Yep, just sit up there. Keep an eye.
All right. As that is going on,
Oh, do I need a stealth roll too to just make sure?
if you're trying to avoid anyone spotting you, yes.
That is a 25.
I don't think anyone sees you. So yeah, you're watching up there. The rest of you are inside. Drinks have been ordered, and immediately to Celia's right is Garzal, and then the other guards are kind of just spread out along the table. One of them is just standing behind her, and just staring at the waiters as they come by.
That's weird. Yeah, fair.
To grimace at him the whole time, just.
Who is sitting immediately next to Celia?
Me.
Excellent.
His head.
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right, so she
She'll attempt to shake you and be unsuccessful.
she
So-
reaches over and starts like grabbing drinks from a tray that's brought out before like the waiter can actually like offer them. She just like slams hers down in front of her and then gives one over to you and puts one down in front of Garzal. And then as the rest of them are being passed up, she says, "All right, let's drink up." Then she downs hers.
I order some like tidbits for the table.
Yeah, it's basically like a fine ale that's been brought out that has it has been infused with a very like barley-like flavor and port. Is a reinforced ale.
Okay, nice.
It's also strong.
Yeah, Runman sips.
Celia kind of slams her mug down. This is great. I haven't been able to do something like this in years.
So why haven't you been allowed out in years?
Well, I've been out, but not here.
Yes, but like your brother has only been missing for not that long.
Really, father over the years since mother died has become more reclusive and less interested in social outings.
I see.
So
once
he
he
left for
stopped
business.
So once he stopped going out, you stopped going out.
We usually aren't allowed to just leave.
That's fair. It's not safe for you, of course. Always. However, some days they're better than others. I'm surprised he hasn't let you out at all. But knowing your father, it's not that surprising.
Well, the last trip I was on was a few months ago.
Oh, and where did you go?
We sailed to, it's a small town up north in the tundras. And I do have this one, but it's all the way here. The town of Varsoth.
Far south. And what did you do there? What did you do there?
Oh, we did some exploring. Father was looking for mineral deposits, and along the way there was just some sightseeing to do for a while. The landscape actually got very dull after a while. It's all snowy.
Really?
Just lots of snow.
Just lots of snow.
And some mountains.
Yes, I can see that being beautiful for a bit, but if not from the comfort of a warm fire, then it would get quite.
No, most of that trip will be spent outside.
Not my cup of tea, I'm finding.
It lost its charm after the first week.
Indeed. However, you said he was there looking for mineral deposits?
Yes, it was prospecting.
He was.
Well, that's what the expedition was sent for.
I see. Did you acquire this land recently, or?
We were looking to acquire it.
I see.
I'm not sure if we ever followed up on it or not.
Good point of conversation next time we have dinner together. So, what do you miss most about going out all the time? I'm running out of things to talk about, Celia, and mostly I'm just wondering when you're going to pull some stunt that will make us chase you about.
I don't understand why you think I would do any such thing.
If I was a teenager.
I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Shit, is it poison?
Yes.
Okay. Nope. Constant. Alright. A 24.
You don't even notice anything.
I don't know, kid. Your dad dropped some pretty intense hints that maybe you might be something about sneaking around for a week as a servant.
My father,
Which is tenacious, and I am very proud of you. That's pretty spectacular. And lends itself to think that maybe you would think about sneaking out today.
I and my brothers have kept ourselves entertained with a number of pranks over the years.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so if you get stuck in that house the whole time. I've got 2 older brothers myself. Trust me, I know all about cabin fever.
Well, I imagine you could relate then.
Oh yeah.
How's your drink?
Tastes pretty damn good, kiddo. Why you ask?
I just was curious if you liked it.
Yeah, tastes pretty good. Pretty stout. A little bit different flavor. I haven't had anything quite like this in a while.
Okay.
Why you ask?
I thought that it was just, it's a very different port and ale.
Can I sniff?
Yeah. You can give me a, I would allow a medicine check.
Hell yeah.
Do it.
Hell yeah. It's a natural 1.
Oh!
There's nothing weird about this outside of there's port and ale.
Well, you made the Constitution check. That's all we can really
Yep.
ask for.
God, so mean.
Cass outside, there's movement. Coming from the dock, there are roughly a dozen individuals who seem to be moving in the direction of the pier with purpose.
Bird comes out. Speak the command word.
Mm-hmm.
We've got movement outside. We need to get her out. And he'll send it to Brunman.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
And then he's getting his bow
You've
ready.
got mail.
I've got mail. Excuse me. Aha! I see. All right.
He'll actually jump down.
Okay.
Everyone, it's time to go.
Great. What
Sil-
manner of
Celia,
time right now.
Celia kind of begins to protest, and Garzal just kind of like stands up and just lifts her by the
Yeah.
Gazao, prepare the lifting of weights.
And
Celia just like kind of ragdolls over his shoulder.
God damn it, not again.
This is me now.
Just pouting as Garzal begins to make for the exit with the guards in tow.
which, if Cass can, he's going to start moving towards this group.
Okay, so from where you are at, there is a kind of open valley between you and the ship, and they're coming from south and moving up that way.
Okay.
So you could easily beat them there, or if you wanted to just kind of stand off still, there's probably like a 80-foot gap between the pier and like where the end of buildings are, and you wouldn't have much cover beyond that point.
You said it's about 12 guys, right?
Yeah.
Cass wants to go towards one of the ones in the back, and then grab for a wallet and see if he can drag their attention towards him and move.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
Do you need stealth first?
Yeah, if you're going to try to move quietly, then
Move quietly so they're not watching like what he's
Okay.
doing.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
Okay. Some of them do spot you coming. As you approach, they kind of eye you. One of them like gives you a gesture, get out of here, and then they keep going.
Then Cass will not approach and be like, "What's going on?" He'll just start talking to them.
As they're moving forward, one of them is just like, we heard that the Jemson girls in town. I wanted to we wanted to pay our proper respects.
Proper respects, and he's looking for weapons too.
They're armed. A lot of them have like some kind of like cloth something covering a weapon, but a combination of short swords, daggers, even a few rods.
Proper respects with weapons. I
Can't be
see.
too careful, friend.
No, I understand. And Cass will have his rapier too, and he'll put it on his hand on it. I suggest you all walk away now.
Hello?
Give me an intimidate.
Hello?
Natural 20.
20!
Oh, shit. Total intimidate is a 24 if you're rolling against that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I love this. Okay, this is fine.
Oh yeah, so fine.
So fine.
Nothing like
nothing-
a death
nothing bad.
wish on a D&D night.
They kind of stop and look at you and then toward each other, and one of them's
Trust
And
me, blood on the pier is so nice.
Wait, what?
Cass will draw it too as he speaks.
You're a creepy little fuck, ain't ya?
Trust me, I'm from the capital. You learn some things.
Capital.
Yeah.
Well, this might be a little bit above my pay grade.
Smart. Walk away. While you still have the
Come on,
chance.
boys. We'll meet her later. And then get out of there.
Cass is looking for
Yay.
emblems too.
Yay! So,
Um,
yay.
Yeah, so they don't have a uniform, but you do notice a couple of them seem to have a one of them wears it as a kind of amulet, and another one kind of has it just on their wrist like part of a bracelet. But it is some sort of symbol. It looks like a religious symbol, but it's not one you recognize.
Okay. I imagine they're coming out as they're seeing Cass just basically tell these guys to walk away.
Yeah. Celia can't see anything. except appear behind her as she is being carried along. Then you just kind of put me down. I can move myself.
Runwin will like follow the guards. Like this is
You
ready
want
for a
point?
fight,
Or you want me to take point?
and then
I will take the back.
Alright.
Which Cass is just going to eye each one of them as they walk by.
Cass is just eyeing up some people, being like,
A group of 12,
a
too.
group of 12, like she's ready to go. And then something is just like,
He's just still gonna keep an eye.
You
What's
scared
happening?
him off.
oh, he scared him off. If that's what happens. That's what's happening. Oh, all right.
Well done.
Scared who off? What's going on?
Ruffians, darling.
Which Cass will put the rapier back too once they're leaving.
I know you wanted a good old fight, however, it is not this day. And it's time to go home. Can't wait to get you back home. It does. Yes, yes. Next time, darling. And we head back towards the Jemison home.
She pouts the whole way.
Children. Oops. And umbrellas.
But yeah, you nothing stops the return. You can kind of do a straight line from where you're at to the path outside of town and over up to the estate. No sign of the brother, at least not yet anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you definitely drew some attention. There, people will now know, and people are definitely familiar with your affiliation with Lord Jemison now.
Oh, yeah. For good or bad.
Yep.
It's
That's
not.
alright.
It would have gotten out sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Runwin will ask Cassian on the way back if he's, especially if he's staying with this time.
He's still gonna sit back up
He's still gonna
until
sit
he
back?
can, yeah,
Okay, then she'll.
up until he knows they don't have any tails and whatnot.
Okay.
Because that's again what he's watching for.
Sure. Stay up there. You notice one individual who does kind of watch the party leave town, but once they like go onto the road to the estate, they don't continue following.
Not one of the 12 that he
No.
saw earlier, right?
No.
Okay. And once he's sure they're all gone.
No, I won't say. I'm being a meta pigeon.
Is it they're watching long enough to be like odd? Or is it still one of the onlookers?
They're kind of obviously following, like, kind of slinking behind barrels and stuff.
Oh, then Cass definitely wants to go and approach them.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and
And-
roll still.
Yep. Oh, that's a 16 on the die plus 11, so 27.
That's pretty high. Yeah, the individual's unaware of you.
Nice.
He's gonna get right up behind him. And draw a dagger and put it on his throat. Well, hello, friend.
How
Who do you
can
work
I
with?
help you?
Who do you work with? Why are you watching them?
Why am I watching them?
Yes. And sneaking around.
They are the most interesting thing in town.
Yes, why are you sneaking around them?
Just keeping an eye out.
For who?
The community, of course. Have to watch those nobles.
Oh, watching nobles. So fun, isn't it? Who are you working for? And he's gonna press it just a little bit more. I can roll intimidate too if you like.
Please do.
Is that at advantage because I'm literally just like
Yeah.
Ooh.
oh, same roll.
Oh.
But that's still a 16.
16. Okay. You knife up against him. He he starts just coughing like violently for a bit, and then he once he catches his breath,
I am just keeping an eye out on strangers and goings on behalf of the good people of the town. Think of me as a good neighbor.
I like to think of myself as a good neighbor as well. So, Who do you work for? He's gonna push it some more.
It's not really a matter of employment.
Not a matter of employment. Come now, there has to be something in this for you.
I serve the community's needs. And I, amongst others, do what is best to keep the people of Ocean's Bounty free and able to follow the traditions of their forefathers.
Good, so you and others were getting somewhere. Who are these others?
Other citizens like myself.
Like the lovely group of 12 that thought they'd pay their respect to Celia earlier?
Upstanding bunch, I'm sure.
Really? Who are they part of? They've got a symbol. Tell me about this symbol. What is it?
I'm afraid you'll have to be more specific than that.
It's a religious symbol, my friend. Surely you know it. If you're with them.
That is a symbol of the old faith.
The old faith.
Yes. Our forefathers were the traditions that we have kept alive.
And tell me, what kind of respects would they be interested in paying Celia?
But that I don't know.
You're with this group and you don't know?
We all work for the betterment of the bounty, but that doesn't mean I know the plans of everybody. It's not. We're not all aware of each other's goings on at every moment.
Can I insight check that? Only 9.
Yeah, you don't think that's untrue.
So, you're just keeping an eye out for nobody but the town itself.
My was very important to me.
I suggest you don't do that anymore.
I see.
You get me?
And then he has another coughing fit. And then he, well, I'll do my best to avoid you.
You didn't do a very good job the first time. You do not want me to show up again.
Who are you here with?
Does it matter?
I mean, the Jemsons somehow, but where from? Why? How much money is he paying you?
That is none of your business. None of that is any of your business, friend.
Maybe a better offer could be made.
Oh, from who? You?
No, not me. It would take some time, but maybe we could come to an arrangement.
We could come to an arrangement, and this we is the town itself.
Essentially. If you just let me go and give me a place to meet you at some point later on, I think I could come to you with something.
Very curious offer. But I need more details as well. Who is my potential employer outside of the town itself?
Well, I would imagine some of the council would be needed to compensate you in any way that is competitive with the Lord.
You have my attention.
I can pass along that perhaps the newcomers could be persuaded to turn their attention away from our goings on and to let us in peace. In exchange, you could get a fair amount of pay for very little to no effort. I mean, like I said, I would have to run this by others, but surely I could help in some way. That gets this knife off my throat.
Cass will pull the knife back. Does he turn to face Cass?
He does. I've seen you.
Oh, have you? Where?
About town. You showed up at the festival.
Of course. Sounded fun.
Well, where and when. I need at least a week.
A week's time. Week's time. That seems too long.
I don't have the ability to directly ask for a competing offer.
Who does?
The gentleman that I often look to for guidance, a captain named Dorseth Mogdal.
Dorseth?
Dorseth.
Dorseth.
I believe he might be able to arrange something. If not him, then he would be close to someone who could.
I'll go pay a visit myself
Hmm. Be careful how much you poke your nose into. There are people who are very keen on our privacy.
then. As is the Lord.
Hmm.
Get me? I don't want to see you around here again. You understand?
Around where I live in.
Poking around the estate.
I don't go close to the estate.
You're close enough now. I want you further out.
I could
I
just
live
the
like
edge
2
of
houses
town.
down. But I live like right
I live
there.
right there, man. I don't know what you want me to do.
This is awful to abandon.
I can't just up and move. You know the real estate market in this town?
It's not very good.
It
No one
hasn't
wants to
changed
move
in
here.
3 years.
When Cass is essentially saying, I will kill you if I see you again, I think he'll figure a way out.
Let's see what can be arranged.
Maybe I could do a house trade with a friend or something.
You can do that.
And he will leave.
Yeah.
And go to the house 2 doors down. Unlock the door. Unlocks the door.
No, he does walk up the street.
He didn't have any symbols on him, did he?
Not that you could tell. He was dressed more like just a commoner.
Okay. I'm sure he's got a nice mark, right?
Yeah, a little red line. Maybe some dots of blood.
Oh, I bet Cass was pushing pretty hard by the end because he's just like getting annoyed. And then Cass will go join everyone on the estate.
Okay. You return to the estate.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are down a person, we will leave off there.
Fair.
Thank you, everybody. And have a good night.
Bye.
As soon as we can chuck it off.
Thanks, Sierra.
Don't trip on the balloons.
Don't die.